Okay, so I'm going to go over Inventor 3 for you guys. There was some questions about this and how to do a couple things. So maybe some of you guys are struggling. This is going to show you how to do it. Others may have it and just have a couple questions. So I got to go a little faster. This is my second time recording this video because the first time I went over 15 minutes because apparently I like to hear myself talk and I didn't get to finish. So I'm going to start out by basically drawing two circles and making a footprint of the shape. So I'm going up here to circle. I'm going to draw the larger of the two circles from my origin, which was 3. Hit enter. Then I'm going to take a line, and from the center point of the circle, I'm going to draw a perfectly horizontal line. There's a little horizontal line icon that popped up, 5 inches in length. I'm going to hit enter on that. You can zoom in or out if you need to. I'm going to go back to my circle command, and from the end point of that line, right there where it snaps, I'm going to draw another circle of 2 inches. Okay, so now that I have that in the center of my screen, I'm going to draw a line from this circle to here, circle to circle. I'm going to draw another line at the bottom, circle to circle. Hit OK. So basically what I want these lines to be is tangent to these circles. Are they right now? Yeah, they're probably pretty close, but I'm going to make sure. So again, we're going to use this constraint up here at the top, the tangent constraint. So I'm going to left click on the circle, left click on the line. So it moved a little bit, so it wasn't tangent. I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom one. Left click on the circle, left click on the line. Once again, as long as it is highlighted, it's still active. I do the same thing with the smaller circle. Left click on the circle, left click on the line. That one was already tangent. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. Left click on the circle, left click on the line. Okay, so now we have the basic shape that we want. So we just got to clean it up a little bit. So to clean this up, what I'm going to do is we're going to come up here. May or may not have used this command before, but we're going to use this little scissor icon. It's called a trim command. We're going to left click on that. If you hold your cursor over long enough, it'll tell you what it does. Maybe. There we go. Trims a curve to the nearest intersecting curve or selected boundary of geometry. What does that mean? It means it's going to trim it off. So we're going to left click on that, left click on that. So now all we have is the outside arc. Left click, and it could have cut all that off prior. I'm going to hit escape real quick. If I would have deleted this line, so I just deleted that line. So if I would have deleted that line first, would have trimmed off the whole arc instead of 2 segments. It was intersecting that piece of geometry of that line originally. Okay, so now I have the footprint of my shape. So I'm going to go finish sketch. I'm going to extrude that. I'm going to have to flip back real fast to look at this. That's my pool, not the other one. 1 is the extrusion. Okay, so I didn't have to look back at it anyway. I drew this earlier. I don't really have plans on it. I'm doing it off memory. I'm pretty sure this extrusion, the base of it was 1, so I'm going to go with 1. Okay, so right now I have the base of it as 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 more extrusions. So we got to sketch again. So we're going to go up here, 2D sketch, select the plane that we want to sketch on. I'm going to sketch on this plane right here. I'm going to draw another circle the exact same size from this center point, which is 3. And finish sketch. Now I'm just going to extrude that circle out a distance of 1. That's correct. Okay. Now I'm going to do another 2D sketch. Once again, there's more than one way to do this. This is just the way that I did it. You may have completed it already and did it a little bit differently. That's fine, as long as you came up with the same end result. So we're going to go circle again. We need to find the center point. So if you come out here and click on it, see how that black dot pops up in there? That's the center point. We'll click on that, drag this out. Once again, this was a 2-inch circle. Okay, finish that sketch. This one's going to come out 0.75. So I'm going to go extrude. My geometry is already selected, coming out 0.75. Finishing that sketch. Okay, so before we move on here, I'm going to show you how to put this in the correct orientation, because right now, if we're looking at the front view, that's what I want to be my top view. Okay, which is actually not a bad front view, but we want to change it. So what we want to do is look at the view that we want to be the front view, and now that this is the front view we want, we're going to come up here and we're going to right click on the view cube, and we're going to set current view as front. Set current view as front. Okay, so now that's our front view. Now what I also like to do is click on the upper right hand corner of the front and set the home to set current view as the home view. So just hit fit to view. And so now that's our home and that's our front, which is the correct orientation that we need. Okay, so I'm just going to work out of this ISO view right here, and I'm going to put 2 holes in this. So we're going to go hole. We're going to do something, can't remember if I went over this or not, but you guys know how to do a hole. We're going to do a concentric, which means sharing the same center point. So we're going to go concentric, select the plane, this one here, and it says select the concentric reference, which is the other circle, or the circle you want to share the same center point from, which is that outside circle. We're just going to left click on that. Now we have the same center point. We just have to insert the inside diameter, which was 1.5 or 1.5. Hit OK. We're going to do the exact same thing on the next. Once again, changing to concentric circle. We're going to select the plane, select the concentric reference, or the circle we're sharing the same center point from, just like that, and that circle size is 1. As you can see, I have through all on both of those. Hit OK. So this is basically done, other than my fillet. I'm just going to come up here to this fillet command. Standard default fillet of 0.125. Select the outside of this, inside of that circle, outside of the circle, inside of the circle. Check it. That's good. So I'm going to save this now. File, save as. You save it where you always save all your stuff. I'm just going to save it to the desktop because I'm going to delete it. You do not want to be saving this to the project file, so if it automatically defaulted to the Puzzle Cube project folder that we did earlier and it's saved in there, you really don't want it in there, but if you forgot to change that, you're okay right now. We'll fix that at a later date. Alright, so we got this saved. Next step, new IDW file, create. Standard practice, delete ANSI large, right click on sheet, edit sheet, change the sheet size to A, hit OK. Now we have the proper size sheet of paper. We're going to go base. I actually changed it to 0.75, which is actually still a little bit too big, but I'll just put it all the way out to the edge. Left click in the front view. Once again, yours is in the center, so you got to left click on it, drag it down here, click in the front view, drag it up, click in the top view, drag it over, click in the side view, right click, create. Looks correct. Okay, so we got everything here that we need. I have an ISO in the example I gave you. Just gave you that because it's easier to draw if you're looking at a 3-dimensional one. You do not need that in here. I'm going to go through and dimension this accordingly. I may place my dimensions a little bit differently, but as long as they're on there, you're fine. So we're going to come up here, annotate the dimension. If it's a hole like these, we're going to use the hole and thread. I'm going to left click on it, drag it up, left click on it, drag it up, right click, OK. Now we're going to use the actual dimensioning command to do the circles. Left click on it, drag it up, just hit OK, left click on it, drag it up, hit OK. So now what we're going to do, which you may not have done before, is put a center mark in the center of this circle, center mark, center of that circle. We're going to then dimension from this center line to this center line, right click, continue, pull it down, 1, 2, left click, right click, create. So you have all that dimensioned up there. Okay. Technically you do not need an overall dimension, but I'm going to put one in there anyway because you can add the radius of this one and the radius of that to get the overall dimension. I'm going to go baseline, outside, outside, right click, continue, pull it up. I'll pull it up a little bit higher so I can put that fillet in there. Create. Okay. I need the height dimension here still. So once again, baseline, bottom to top, left click all horizontal lines, left click, left click, left click, left click, right click, continue, 1, 2, left click, right click, create. Got all my vertical dimensions in there now. Only thing I'm missing is the fillet. So I'm not sure where I had this placed on the example, but this is the part some people had a question with. I'm going to do this leadered text. I'm going to click on that. I'm just going to dimension off this one. Pull it up, left click, try to draw out a horizontal line, left click again, right click, continue. Automatically pulls up this text box. And what I should have typed on my example was all fillets 0.125, capital R for radius. And that's what they are. So I'm going to hit OK there. Okay, how you should finish this up is text right here. We're going to type in your first and last name. It's not mine. Whatever hour. Go ahead and throw that number on there, Inventor 3. That'll help me out grading it. Okay. Once again, if you want the text bigger, double click on it, come in here, drop that down to 0.24. That didn't work. Double click on the text. Oh, you gotta highlight the text. 0.24. Okay. So that's it. This is how you do the fillet. That was a question some people had on it. Might be better off putting that over here, but as long as it's in there and you can see what you're actually dimensioning, you're fine. Baseline dimensioning here. Most of your dimension is going to come off the top. So that's it in a nutshell. I'm running out of time on this once again, so I'm going to wrap it up. So this should be completed like this, snippet of it, then uploaded into the LMS where that assignment's located.